Mr. Speaker, today I rise in support of this temporary continuing resolution and urge my colleagues to do the same. As we debate this measure, let's remember why we are here. Let's remember that on November 2nd, the people of Virginia's 5th District and the people across this country sent a message to Washington, a message to Republicans and to Democrats. The message was urgent, it was clear, and it was loud. The message sent was that now is the time to stop the government spending, stop the government borrowing, and stop the raid on our children's future. So what have we found since we got here? We find that our President and the last Congress, despite enjoying great majorities in each chamber, completely and totally failed nearly 6 months ago to live up to its most fundamental responsibility to adopt a budget for fiscal year 2011. Because of their failure to lead, the American people still, 6 months later, do not have a budget. After the House worked into the early morning hours nearly a month ago and sent H.R. 1 down the hall to the opposite chamber, what has the Senate done? They left town, and they failed to adopt any proposal to fund the government for the rest of the fiscal year. And what has the President done? While continuing to fail to lead on the 2011 budget, he has now proposed a budget for fiscal year 2012 that does not decrease spending and borrowing, but instead increases government spending and nearly doubles government borrowing in the next 10 years. After it's all said and done, the Senate and the White House have not heard the message from the people in the last election and are continuing to fail to lead. Now is the time for this Congress to listen. Now is the time for this Congress to act. I believe that the majority in this House is listening, and this temporary continuing resolution gets us one step closer to fulfilling the purpose given us by the American people. Cut government spending and reduce government borrowing for the sake of future generations. Simply put, by voting in favor of this measure today, we are putting a $6 billion deposit on the account for our children and our grandchildren who for far too long have been forgotten here in Washington. I thank